For most of Good Will Hunting, Will was untouchable, too smart, too fast, too guarded. Then comes the park bench monologue, the moment Sean dismantles Will without raising his voice. But what actually breaks in that scene, and why does it still feel like the most intimate confrontation ever put on film? So how can one monologue read from a park bench dismantle a lifetime of defense mechanisms and still leave you feeling more hopeful? From the moment we hear it, we know this scene in Good Will Hunting is something special. It's not just a speech, it's a turning point. Sean sits down with Will and with calm words and open honesty, breaks through the walls Will has built around himself. When Sean finishes with "Your move, Chief," it's not just a mic drop, it's a quiet dare. I will argue that this is the greatest monologue scene in all of cinema, based on my opinion. It's powerful not because it uses big words, but because it speaks the truth simply and directly. We'll look at how the scene fits in the story, how it was filmed, and why it still hits so hard for so many people. And most importantly, we'll break down how it connects with something real inside all of us. So why does this monologue still matter all these years later? Good Will Hunting came out in 1997. Back then, most big movies were about action and special effects, but this film was different. It was about real people, real pain, and real healing. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote it when they were still in their 20s, and you can feel how personal it is. The director Gus Van Sant had a quiet, honest style that fit the story perfectly. There's no flash in this scene, just two people sitting on a bench. But what they say changes everything, and that was something rare at the time. Instead of huge events or loud drama, the film finds power in a small, still moment. At this point in the movie, Will was brilliant but angry. He pushes people away and hides behind his intelligence. Sean is the first person who doesn't try to outsmart him. Instead, he speaks from the heart. That's what makes this scene the turning point. It doesn't just yell for attention, it whispers the truth, and Will, for once, listens. So what makes this scene feel so real and personal? It takes place on a quiet bench in a park. There's nothing fancy around them, just trees, grass, and the city in the background. This makes it feel real, like it could happen in any park, in any city. It's the kind of place where anyone might go to think or talk. And that adds to the emotional impact. It's grounded, not staged. Robin Williams is calm, serious, and kind. He doesn't raise his voice, he just tells the truth. His voice shakes a little when he talks about love and loss, and that makes it even more powerful. There's no effort to be dramatic, instead, it feels like he's sharing something deeply personal. Matt Damon doesn't say much, he just listens, but you can see in his face that he's hearing these words in a new way. His silence is part of what makes this moment work. He's letting the audience feel everything with him. The camera doesn't move much, it stays on the two of them, letting us feel we're sitting there with them. Sometimes it shows Sean close up, sometimes Will, but it never cuts too quickly. It gives us time to feel every word. The editing trusts the actors, it doesn't try to help this scene with flashy tricks. There's no music in the scene, it's just the sound of Sean's voice and the world around them. That choice makes it feel honest. The movie doesn't tell us how to feel, it trusts us to feel it on our own. You might hear a bird or the wind in the trees, but it's all natural. That helps ground the moment and keep our focus on the words. Before this scene, Will uses jokes and big words to stay safe. After this scene, we see him start to open up. It's not a full change right away, but it's the first crack in his armour. This moment isn't just a good speech, it moves the story forward in a big way. It changes how Will sees Sean, and more importantly, how he sees himself. That change is the heart of the movie. So what is this scene really saying about life? The big idea here is this: you can't live life only in your head. Will was smart, he can quote books, solve math problems, and win arguments, but Sean shows him that's not enough. Real life is messy, it's about feeling things, getting hurt, and loving people anyway. Sean isn't trying to defeat Will, he's trying to wake him up. Sean talks about art, war, and love, not from books, but from experience. He says, you don't know about real loss because it only happens when you love something more than you love yourself. Will has never let himself love that deeply because he's afraid of getting hurt, and deep down, many of us can relate. This scene is a call to live fully, to stop hiding behind knowledge, to risk connection. It's not just for Will, it's for all of us. It tells us that life is not being the smartest person in the room, it's about being brave enough to let someone in. So how does this scene compare to other famous monologues in movies? Think of other big speeches in movies like the courtroom speech in To Kill a Mockingbird, or the angry rant in Network, or even Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. Those scenes are loud, dramatic, and full of big emotion. They're designed to be remembered as powerful moments. But this one is quiet, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's not about showing off, it's about telling the truth. Sean isn't trying to win an argument, he's trying to reach someone. That makes it feel more human. It's not a performance, it's a conversation that changes everything. A lot of movie speeches tell you what to think. This one invites you to feel something, and that's rare. It respects the audience, it knows we'll understand, because we've all had moments where we needed to hear something true. So is this scene too perfect or too emotional? Some people might say it tries too hard to make you cry, that it's just there to make the audience feel something, but look closer. There's no music pushing your emotions, no big camera moves, just two people talking, and that's rare in modern films. Others might say Will changes too quickly after this, but he doesn't. The film shows he still struggles. This scene isn't just the end of the journey, it's the beginning. And that feels real. Sometimes one moment can shift the way you see the world. It doesn't fix everything, but it starts something. This scene doesn't give easy answers, it opens a door. Will has to choose to walk through it, and that's what makes it honest. So why is it this moment stays with us long after the movie ends? Quite simply, it speaks to something deep inside all of us. We all have fears, we all hide behind things. And we all need someone to see us, really see us, and call us out with love. That's what Sean does for Will, and that's what makes this monologue unforgettable. This scene isn't just the heart of Good Will Hunting, it's a reminder that connection matters more than knowledge, that living means risking pain. That's what Sean does for Will, and that's what makes the monologue unforgettable. This scene isn't just the heart of Good Will Hunting, it's a reminder that connection matters more than knowledge, that living means risking pain, that real strength comes from opening up, not shutting down. It shows us that emotional honesty is not a weakness, it's courage. It's why this scene still gets shared, quoted, and loved. It doesn't just change the film, it changes the way we look at life. And it reminds us that we all have our own park bench moment waiting, and when it comes, we have to be ready to listen.